All right, from above the South Campus Dining Hall, this is, in other words, the Diamondbacks Terrapin Basketball Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Michael Katz, and now joining me in video form are columnist Greg Schimmel and beat writer Eric Detweiler. Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Doing good. Weird to be in a new format, but we'll see how it goes.
I'm excited that everybody finally gets to see my smiling face.
Yeah, me too. I'm very excited about that, and hopefully we'll figure out this whole looking at each other and then looking back at the camera thing, and that'll go smoothly. Here we are to talk about the Terps, as always, and as you know. And let's sort of get into it. This is the first time that we've been able to talk since the break. Students, everybody's coming back, and they see that, lo and behold, here the Terps are sitting number one in the ACC, especially with UVA's loss to Virginia Tech last night. That's no longer a wait. We don't have to wait for Virginia Tech for Virginia to play. We just know what's going on. Let's talk about this team. They've been blowing guys out. What are you seeing here, Eric?
Well, if you would have told me 2 months ago when I was sitting in that little gym in Lahaina, Hawaii, that they were going to be capable of putting together a little run like this, I probably would have told you were kidding, because at that time they didn't seem like a basketball team that was capable of, putting together the combination of offense and defense to really just blow a team out of the water. I thought that they were, with the experience they had coming back, they were going to have a chance to be really good if they did a lot of things right. But as you said, with wins by 24 and 22 in their last two times out, they're just a juggernaut right now. The shooting numbers are, off the charts, and the defense, the press has been getting turnovers. This is probably best case scenario for Gary Williams at this point, and they go out to Clemson tomorrow and they just try and keep it going.
Yeah, I think the three of us have probably watched about 90% or more of the Terps games the past 4 seasons now, and I can't remember them playing any better than they are these past few games. Maybe the end of the 2007 season, but even that, I mean, they're looking really good. Something that's really stuck out to me is just the hustle they've shown. Night in, night out, the guys are diving on the floor. There's one play the other night when you had 3 players on the floor on one play. Gary keeps talking about how great it is to see guys trying like that. I think the crowd's really getting behind it too. I mean, if there's something people want here, it's effort, and they're definitely getting that now. Still a little early, still have a lot of tough games coming up in the schedule, so we can't make too many assumptions yet. But yeah, the way things are going now, could be a fun couple months.
Yeah, I liked how Gary addressed that. With the effort the Terps are giving, that no one wants to be that guy who's not diving on the floor, that everyone, is trying to muscle each other out for a little bit of playing time, and so that's fun to see.
He says you'll look bad if you're the one guy, not giving all your effort. So it's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so one thing that I wanted to talk about is Washington Post column today. Tracy Hamilton talked about how, despite what the Terps have done so far, that it's really these next 4 games where we're going to see what they're capable of going forward. They've got tough games on the road at Clemson, and then at Florida State, and then they come back and they have UNC and UVA. So with that in mind, where do you guys... how much of what the Terps have done is a product of playing some of these teams like Miami that are struggling in an ACC, and what do you expect from them going forward as they face some stiffer competition on the road and at home?
Well, I mean, you can't criticize them at this point they've played the hand that they're dealt, and they've played it exceptionally well. But like you said, that's a really good point. I mean, if that's what my article in our paper was about today, just that really we'll find out, especially in these next 2 when they go on the road. It was really great, like Greg said. The crowd was really getting behind them, and they were blowing people out. But you kind of carve out your success in this conference by what you can do on the road. We see that, game in, game out. Last night, Virginia Tech goes and gets a nice road win against Virginia, whereas a team with Wake Forest, you don't really know what you have. They go down to Georgia Tech and they can't compete. So right there, those are 2 things that we found out a lot about, those teams and the teams that were trying to hold up at home. Clemson's a team that needs to show that they can be the kind of team that can make a run in the tournament, so they're going to try and knock off a hot Maryland team. If Maryland goes down there and plays really well, then that says something about them too. I think the word that we used in today's paper was boosting their viability as a conference contender. If they can get to the other side of next week, after Thursday with Florida State, and they're still in that top spot, then I think you can really take it a little bit more seriously. But to your point, they played the hand they're dealt, and they've played it really well.
Any surprise there that they've been winning these games? Not just winning them, but 16 points, 20 points. They're really blowing teams out here, and they haven't taken their foot off the gas pedal at all.
I mean, when you look at the rest of the ACC, nobody else is doing that. Everybody else is having uneven performances, and for them to be able to grab 2 of their top 6 most lopsided wins at Comcast Center, 8-year-old building or whatever, that just says a lot. They're taking care of business right now.
Nice stat pull.
Yeah, I think it's these next few games here is just the next step in the process. I think the first 5 games of the conference schedule, the goal was we're playing these teams that aren't necessarily at the top of the conference. Let's not let's avoid any major letdowns, any major trip ups, and they did. And now they can go forward and really make themselves known as conference contenders. Right now they're decent. People are thinking about Maryland again, but they can take the next step in these next 4 or 5 games. And then you're talking about top 25. You're talking about maybe buying the ACC tournament and things that come with that. So I mean, there's a lot of work to be done. But they've allowed themselves to be in that position after these first 5 games.
That's another really great point, I think. Just looking at where they were coming into this, they obviously were a little disappointing through the non-conference schedule. Hadn't really built up much of a resume. They knew they had some work to do in this conference. But looking at who these first 5 games were against, it wasn't really a situation where you were gonna carve out your make your case for the tournament in those 5 games. But with bad showing, they easily could have lost it. So. Right now, like you said, they did what they needed to do, held serve, and now is when things are going to get interesting.
Yeah, well, it's certainly been fun for us to watch the Terps progress and grow as they have, and the fans seem to be enjoying it as well. We'll have to keep tuned in to see what happens going forward, but it looks like it could be a fun season here in College Park.
Good. I think we're getting assigned to do some predictions, so let's wrap it up with those.
Oh, this is prediction time, of course. Gentlemen, Terps down in Clemson. We'll start with you over here, Eric. What do you got?
I guess I'll be there. How about I hope I get there, or flight out early Sunday morning.
Might have some snow issues to deal with too.
So hopefully it all works out. I predict that I am there, and I think that this team, this Clemson team, is going to play kind of similar to how the NC State game was. It'll be a little bit closer, but I think that they're going to have some success taking away Booker with some of that good inside defense that they've shown. I think they can keep it going. The one that I would, think that they have a better chance of losing is when they go down to Florida State. 2 tough places to play, but I think that they're going to split it. I think they get their win this weekend. I'm going to put it at maybe 75-71.
Well, if it's snowing, feel free to borrow my hat before you make your way to the runway.
I might have to do that.
Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a, it's going to be tough to go down to Clemson. They've lost 3 in a row. They're going to be hungry. Trevor Booker's a great player. It'll be interesting to see if Jordan Williams can, really step up again against another big man in the ACC and do what he can to shut down Booker. But yeah, just the way the Terps have been looking. I'm usually not one to be overly optimistic, but I could definitely see another win this weekend. I think it's going to be a close game. Let's say, 74-72, Maryland.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see how it goes. I forget what you said.
I don't know what the over-under is, but we seem to have a similar amount of points.
I think I almost said your exact score, but it was low 70s. That's about right. So.
Everyone's just getting along these days
we're
with the Terps succeeding. All right, well, that's our producer Aaron Kraut giving us a signal. So thanks to everybody for stopping by, and hopefully this video experiment went well, and we'll have more for you coming up. Take care.
See you next week.